Hey everybody, welcome back to Inside the Force. Dave Cottingham here with Hannah Burr.
Hello.
How's it going, Hannah?
It is going well. How are you?
Doing good.
Doing good.
We've delayed our episode here to finish hearing about everything that's happened at Star Wars Celebration
Yes.
Japan, which just concluded. It was throwing me off. It's about 13. I think it was like a 13-hour difference. So
Yeah, it is.
yeah. So Sunday, it's Monday over there now. So it wrapped. It wrapped this morning for us.
Mm-hmm.
And what an incredible 3 days happened over there. Lots of stuff that we knew about. Of course, a lot more that was revealed about those things. But then several things that was brand new, which we'll talk about.
Yes.
Because it is out there now what is coming from Star Wars over the next few years here. Some good stuff here and a long list. So we'll get right into it this whole episode. We're just going to talk about Celebration.
Oh, yes.
First, though, thanks to our patrons, as always, for supporting us. I posted a couple of those reveals that we're going to talk about up on there. And let's see, Thrawn. I want to just skip to Thrawn from commenting on our last episode here. We talked a lot about the Tales of the Underworld that's coming out.
Yes.
Thrawn says, we said Tales of Dexter's Diner. Not a bad idea. He goes, I do love that we get Tales of miniseries each year now. It's a nice surprise, but I really do hope we get a new animated series. Well, announced soon. We'll talk about that. Just to fill some time before any live action series or movies. Otherwise, we're going to have a large gap when Andor Season 2 finishes. Hannah, I pray they do Tales of Knights of Ren, but I would need full reactions from you. So
that would be interesting. That's for sure.
Yes.
That's for sure.
So I think, obviously he posted that before Celebration came out, so there's definitely some news to talk about with that. And it's interesting he says about the schedule, though, still, because despite all the things that have been announced, there isn't too much coming out later this year.
And that might just be because, once again, they were saying they wanted to focus on quality versus quantity. So it could be they're like, okay, we do have to pump the brakes slightly so that we're making sure we produce quality shows and movies versus a number of them.
Well, yeah, I mean, I just don't know. They don't have anything ready, for one, because it seems like in the next couple of years, it's going to be a lot.
Yes.
It's going to be a lot of stuff. So, yeah, it might. I think some things were pushed as far as when production was going to start, but okay. So, Celebration. Let's just start going down the line here.
Let's just say our text chain, what was it, Thursday or Friday, was nuts.
Yes. It was started Friday.
Yeah, Friday. The text chain was like, wow.
It was Friday morning there, but it was late Thursday night here.
So it was Thursday. It was Thursday.
It was Thursday around midnight when news started coming in, and crazy. So there was a Mandalorian and Grogu panel on Friday morning. So let's talk about that a little bit. They released a teaser trailer in there, which didn't make it out in public yet.
It will probably eventually, but
maybe, yeah. Maybe. I don't know, because some of those lately, those Celebration ones, they haven't really been releasing those unless they're they try to make it unique to people that were there.
Oh, that's true, I guess.
But I did see a leaked version of it online.
Okay.
It was kind of short. It showed more or less a one camera take of Mando coming down this hallway and like shooting a bunch of stormtroopers,
Okay.
and shots of him and Grogu doing some stuff and like some Force stuff. Mainly, it introduced Sigourney Weaver.
Yes, that was a huge reveal.
Yeah. Well, it was talked about that she's in it.
Right, but seeing her
and knowing that she is I think she's a former pilot.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Because I think they showed her a picture of her in her pilot outfit.
Yeah. She's got like a little pilot jumpsuit, I think.
Yeah. I'm trying to see if I can find that photo. Yep, there it is.
She's yeah. Sounds like she's hiring them to help her with something. And there was that talk of Rada the Hutt, Jabba's son.
Oh my gosh, the preview of him.
There's like one shot of him is like really quick at the end of the trailer,
and he's buff.
Yeah, that shot. Yeah, so he's like some kind of gladiator kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
like, what the heck?
Yeah. So I don't know how much of the film is going to involve him besides that shot, but so Sigourney was there, her first celebration. Pedro was there, of course. Dave and Favreau were there.
Mm-hmm. Grogu was there. That's right. There's a shot of Zeb in the trailer. Yes. Let's see if I have that photo. Yep, there it is.
Yeah, exactly. So this is interesting. It's a very interesting. I tell you what, it sort of feels like. Could be wrong about this.
Uh-oh.
But it sort of feels like that canceled show, that New Republic. You remember that apparently Gino Carano was supposed to be a part of?
Maybe.
Gosh, I can't remember if it was.
There were I hate to say there were so many canceled shows and movies that I can't keep track of what is moving on and what's not.
Yeah, there was a show that was, because when they announced Mandalorian, and then they were talking about these spinoffs. Book of Boba Fett was one of them, and of course Ahsoka. Gino was supposed to join this show with all the pilots. Had all the X-wing pilots that they were introduced in Mando, and like she was supposed to go with them. Oh man, like I gotta look. I'll look it up here in a second to get the name, but it's something to do with. It's called something in the New Republic.
Okay.
And that's I think Zeb was rumored to be in that as well. So it's like there's all these little things I feel like they're taking from that canceled show, and maybe it's not the storyline, but I think those characters are coming over into this.
Okay.
I know it's bugging me. I know people are screaming at it and not listening to us.
You gotta look at old Google for the answer.
Rangers of the New Republic. That's what it was.
Okay, I vaguely remember.
Yeah.
I think I was at the point where they were spitting out so many TV show ideas. I was like, yeah, I will bet that like half of these don't even stick.
Yeah, all they showed was a logo. They never went that far, and I think it fell apart when Gino Carano got fired and all that stuff. So I think there's a little bit of that's gonna linger. That's kind of what I felt like when I saw this show, saw the trailer. Of course, it is still set to come out May of next year,
which is sooner than we think.
I don't know. I mean, they're done shooting. I mean, it's gonna take another year to do post, I guess.
Well, you got to make sure it works out well, and you don't have to do any reshoots.
Yeah, I guess it seems like it seems like it's been taking a long time on this one. They I mean, they shot. I feel like they shot more practically. It sounds like a little less volume,
Okay.
but yeah, still another year till we get a Star Wars film. But it's on pace. I think they're gonna. If I were to guess, I think they're gonna keep that teaser there. I think we'll get something later. Maybe. I wouldn't be surprised if they might drop something May the 4th.
Oh, that's a good point.
Right. Once Andor starts, getting going. So anyway, not too much more there that came out of it. Now, I think during the same panel is when the new film was announced. Now, there have been rumors for a while that Sean, I thought it was Levy, but it's Levy apparently. Sean Levy.
Okay, Sean Levy.
Levy has been working on a Star Wars film. And then there were, of course, rumors that it was getting fast-tracked. And it seems like those rumors are 100% true because his film is not in development. It is in pre-production, and they are shooting this thing this fall.
And the other rumor that was part of it was that Ryan Gosling was attached to it.
That's right.
And it turns out that was 100% true.
That's right. And what was revealed is the actual title of this film.
Yes.
Star Wars Starfighter.
Which I think is really fitting for a Ryan Gosling character because, we've seen him in Blade Runner 2049.
Yes.
Yep. And absolutely fantastic. Like, I feel like he could totally do a role that's like that. So that'll be really, really cool.
Yeah, you're right. I think it will be. I think Ryan is obviously a very, very accomplished actor. I think he's going to be fantastic in this. I think, Sean has worked a lot with Ryan Reynolds, so it's actually surprising that it wasn't Ryan Reynolds.
Well, with other things going on, I'm not surprised it wasn't Ryan Reynolds.
Well, true. That's true.
We don't have to go into that, but
yeah.
Also, I feel like, can Ryan Reynolds do serious? He absolutely can. He can.
Yeah, he can. I mean, I don't know how many people take him seriously.
I was just about to say, I feel like if you're going to have him in a movie, then it needs to be more comedy based. And that's totally fine. If that's where you're going to take Star Wars that direction. That'd be awesome. But I would see him more in the Taika Waititi film than I would based on what it sounds like this film is meant to be.
Right. Yeah. So I was trying to see if I don't think it was revealed too much about, there wasn't really much details. I watched an interview that.
What I have in my notes is releases May 28th, 2027, a standalone film right. Set 5 years after The Rise of Skywalker. Okay. Features new set of characters. Story has so much heart and adventure, and it starts filming in the fall.
Right. 5 years after. So 5 years after Rise of Skywalker. So it'll actually be the first film. See, this is the thing is, you want to talk about fast tracking. It was, everybody kind of knew we were getting Mandalorian and Grogu first, but everybody was under the impression that we were going to get this Rey film next. And I think that was supposed to start shooting here soon too, but we don't really necessarily have a release date for that yet. So this one has a release date. So it's unless they're going to put this Rey movie out December of next year, which sounds unlikely. It'll probably be December of the following year, which is December 27th, if that's still there, if they're still going to keep it in December.
Right. I
Which
mean,
would
that
mean we
kind of
would
makes
get two.
sense.
Which would mean we would get 2 films that year.
Right. Count your blessings. Look to the future.
I mean, I guess, yeah. I think I'm curious though. I'm just really curious. They must believe this Sean Levy movie is really good.
I was about to say, I mean, they have to believe it's going to be out of the park. And it sounds like hopefully it'll be different. And who knows, maybe that movie also kind of does a little setup for Ray's movie.
That's true. That's possible. That's definitely possible. 5 years after it, and that's the thing too. I was thinking about what's happening 5 years after Rise of Skywalker, because unlike the original trilogy, the First Order was only around for about a year. They weren't around for 19 years like the Empire was, right? Or actually about 24 years.
Right.
So now, granted, unlike the Empire, the First Order completely wiped out the New Republic, basically. At least all the leadership.
Oh, it absolutely did.
So I guess you can argue that even though the First Order is gone, that also the New Republic is gone. So you're almost rebuilding from scratch, almost everything.
You are.
And in 5 years, is there still fighting going on between remnants of the First Order, or?
There probably is. I mean, technically, the rebellion didn't end, the war between the rebellion and the Galactic Empire, until the Battle of Jakku.
Right, a year later, yes.
A year later. So and also the thing is, you have to keep in mind the First Order was deep seated into the Empire.
Correct.
It started at that point. So maybe the reason why it's 5 years later is they're really making sure they're covering all their bases and everything is taken care of.
I guess. I mean, the only difference is when the Death Star blew up in Endor, and as you know from the battle, like you said, like the Empire, some remnants of the Empire were able to escape and rebuild the First Order, right? So, there were a lot. I mean, just the Death Star destroyed. So there were a lot of Star Destroyers and commanders still out there. Now with the First Order, they were all at Exegol.
Yes.
And every one of those got destroyed, right? So there's hardly any First Order around anymore. But like we said, it's like there's no New Republic either. There's no Chancellor. There's no Senate. It's like,
who knows? It might be the crime syndicates each saying, "Hey, this is our opportunity to try to take over."
I definitely think so too. Yeah.
So that could be where they go with it. Is the crime syndicates all of a sudden kind of come out of hiding a bit, and they're like, "Oh, now's our chance!" And so that's where it goes. And before the New Republic can really take a seat, they have to take out the crime syndicates, or at least get them under control.
Yeah, and all the people that are left from the Resistance, it's curious if any of those who's going to step up and be Chancellor. Mm-hmm. Because there wasn't like I mean, I guess what's her name? Because no, Holdo's dead.
Yep.
So
Leia's dead.
Leia's dead.
Mon Mothma.
She's been dead.
She's been dead.
Yeah. Who knows? Yeah, I don't know. Akbar's dead.
Finn is going to step up.
Yeah. Could it be Poe? Possibly. I don't know.
I was just about to say Poe would be. No, Poe is too much of a pilot to want to step up into politics. Finn would feel an obligation to do so.
But Finn's probably going to end up being a Jedi, though.
Maybe not. Maybe he's accepted his fate that maybe I'm better in politics.
Yeah. that part's going to be interesting to see. Where they established the state of the galaxy 5 years after.
Hey, screw it. Have Rey be both head of the Jedi Council and the Chancellor. That won't go, that will go so smooth. That'll
Oh
go
gosh,
so
right?
well.
Yeah,
There won't be any problems whatsoever with that.
Yeah. I just look. When I look back a little bit, when Episode 7 came out, I just had this. I had this complete different vision of what the galaxy looked like.
Yeah.
Like 30 years later, you're like, oh, great. Luke's got established Jedi Order again. Leia's in charge of the government. None of that was true. Yeah. So I don't even know how I'm going to think about where they're going to go with this one. But
no, there's no way to figure that out.
So Jedi Starfighter, that's coming in 2 years. May 27th, like you said, or just Memorial Weekend.
Yeah, May 28th, I think is what it was.
May 28th, 2027. Okay. So not bad. 2 years from now, they start shooting in the fall.
Yeah, May 28th.
May 28th, yeah. Okay. Of course, there was an Andor Season 2 panel, which had Genevieve O'Reilly was up there. Alec Tunick was out there. The women, and I fail to save their names, but like Cyril, Deidre, Bix, they were all out there. They watched the first episode. They let the crowd see the first episode there.
Oh.
We get to see the whole first 3 episodes here in a couple nights. Can't wait for that. Big hype for Season 2. There's just the embargo's down now, so you can start reading some people's reviews, and it's getting crazy good reviews right now.
I would expect nothing less.
I agree. Excited. So obviously we'll be talking about those episodes in our next few episodes of Inside the Force. Season 2 of Ahsoka starts shooting next week. So there was a panel for that as well, where they revealed who's coming back.
They revealed that it was, where is it? Oh no, I can't find it. I have it somewhere. Where is it? There it is. Basically, the Ghost Crew.
Yes.
Will be united, minus Kanan for obvious reasons.
Yes.
Apparently, we have Hayden Christensen.
Hayden will be back. Yes.
We got the first look at Rory McCann as Balin.
Yeah, what'd you think?
He looks really good. I mean,
he
looks different, but he looks really good, I think.
I mean, I think it passes.
It passes. We get a look at the Loth kittens.
Loth kittens, yes.
Admiral Akbar.
That's right.
Is making a return, which great. The mystery surrounding the Mortis gods will be revealed.
Yep, lots going on there.
I think that was everything. Right?
Yep. Yeah, pretty much. Other than it looks like it should come next year.
Yes.
That wasn't necessarily confirmed at Celebration, but apparently somebody took a screenshot on Disney Plus when you go to Ahsoka, and it says Season 2 coming in 2026.
Okay, so next year.
I think it's going to have to be late next year.
Yes.
But it looks like it will be next year.
Okay.
Exciting. Real exciting.
Good stuff.
Okay. This is, I think, the biggest news, which is the next animated series. Because we've been talking about this for a while, that there's going to be a new animated series coming. Bad Batch went 3 seasons. They've been supplementing the animation with these tales of stories,
And
which are just
visions.
in visions with, little. Well, visions though a little different just because it's
Oh yeah,
different studios and
technically,
stuff like that.
and it's not technically canon, but it's still
Right.
animation.
Which I think that might start changing, which we'll get into.
Yes.
But the biggest reveal with the animation, which is the 20th anniversary of Lucasfilm Animation, which I didn't realize that same year that Revenge of the Sith, because they're celebrating the 20th year anniversary. Darth Maul getting Maul, not Darth, just Maul.
Oh, I really hope it explores how he rises to power in the crime syndicate, because
Well,
that would be.
it definitely takes place in between
Well,
Clone Wars and Rebels.
there you go. We're gonna see how he rises to power.
Yeah, which I
Wait,
kind of
wait.
kick myself because it's obvious. It's like an obvious fill-in, series, right?
It is. It's a very
Fill in
obvious
the gap
one.
series.
But so is like a Ventress one too. Like one solely dedicated to Ventress.
Yes, but I agree that when they told us Tales of the Underworld was going to include Ventress, you're like, okay, well that makes sense, and there probably isn't a whole series enough to tell maybe her story.
True.
But Maul is arguably one of the most popular villains that Star Wars has created, which is a little not odd, but it's a little risky to do a whole series around a villain. But some would argue that he's kind of anti-villain sometimes too, right?
A little bit.
Because he's not a Sith.
And he was trying to get Ahsoka to help him take down
Palpatine.
Palpatine. So I guess anti, but he's like not really anti-hero. He's like he's not like the Punisher who actually
No.
like has a good goal in mind, but he does whatever it takes to get there. Maul has his own selfish reasons for a good goal, and in my mind I'm like that's not really an anti-hero.
Well, yeah, true.
But I cannot wait for this because I think it'll be very because one question I had was especially at the end of Solo when we get that scene with him at the head of Crimson Dawn. It's
Mm-hmm.
like how did he get there? Well, the first question was how did he survive? And then the other question is how did he get there?
Yes.
But if I remember correctly, we knew no we already knew he survived. That was Rebels. That was Rebels. That was the one that made me go, how did he survive? Because I think Rebels came
Yes.
before Solo. Solo was how did he get to be head?
Yes.
Like how
Crimson
did he get
Dawn.
there?
Yeah, because at the end of once we got the final season of Clone Wars, when the big Star Destroyer is going down and Ahsoka and Rex are getting out, he does manage to get a ship and fly away. And so the next time we see him, timeline wise, is Solo, where he's, like you said, the head of Crimson Dawn. But then after that, the next time we catch him is in Rebels, where he's all of a sudden on this planet, this Sith planet Morban, when Ezra and Ahsoka and Kanan show up. And they happen to stumble upon Maul. And it's like, okay, how did he get here? Why is he here? We do find out that he's been on this lifelong mission of tracking Obi-Wan down.
Yeah.
And then ultimately, he does face Obi-Wan. And we know when his story ends. But yeah, we don't know, like you said, we don't know the gap between Clone Wars and Solo, where he builds this new crime syndicate.
I mean, he hints at in Clone Wars, he hints that the next big power is going to be crime syndicates. Like he heavily hints at that. Which is why I wonder if that's what Starfighter is going to be, is the crime syndicate's trying to take everything over and they're being
Mm.
squashed down. Just a thought. But I mean, he hints at like, hey, this is what I'm going to do. And sure enough, he does it. So how does he do it? Like, that's incredibly difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, with the Empire, this, obviously he's navigating the Empire too. It's starting at that point, and he can't like go crawling back to Palpatine at all. His Palpatine is basically trying to kill him anyway.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting. I think a lot of fans are happy. A lot of fans are pumped. Of course, Sam Witwer is coming back to voice him. There's no other voice but him right now.
Nope.
for Maul. I mean, he even voiced him in Solo.
Yep.
In live action, which is crazy.
Nuts.
Very, very cool. Of course, Filoni, now, here's the rumor about this. Well, not rumor. I mean, Sam Witwer basically said it. So, that, I don't know if you read this part, that George Lucas was already working on episodes 7, 8, and 9 when Disney bought Lucasfilm.
I did know that.
So he was in the writing process. He was meeting with Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill, and he was already talking about how it was going to be mainly about them, So, but of course, Disney scrapped all of that and went J.J. Abrams' route. But a lot of people can't really wrap their head around is that the ultimate villain of his trilogy was Darth Maul.
Right.
He survives this whole time, and he was supposed to be him and his apprentice, which was a female Twi'lek named Darth Talon. And so it sounds like when Filoni was talking to Witwer about all this, these are the things he's bringing into this show.
Interesting.
Because one of the descriptions of this show was that he's training an apprentice.
Oh. Okay.
So it seems like we're going to get Darth Talon.
Okay.
Or at least Talon. I don't know if they're going to be Darth because they're not Sith necessarily, but
right.
It's going to be probably her. Okay. Yeah, and so I guess and Witwer was basically saying some of the themes that he and George talked about that they're incorporating back into this. So I think they're recycling some of the stuff that never made it out,
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. I'm very interested in that stuff.
Yeah.
And the beauty of this is that it is coming out. They've been already working on it for about a year.
Right.
So this is coming out in 2026. I was hoping to come out later this year. But 2026, which I bet you is going to be sometime around this time, around May the 4th, possibly, something like that. So it might be a year until we can get this.
That'd be awesome.
But yeah, Maul Shadow Lord is coming as the next full animation show. Pumped.
It's gonna be good.
That was my favorite announcement of the weekend.
Agreed.
By far.
Oh yeah. That and everybody singing Hayden Christian happy birthday.
Oh yeah, that's true. That was good.
Great. That was good.
Okay, let's see what else. We are getting this year though. We are getting Star Wars Visions Volume 3. That is actually coming out in October.
Yes.
With I think 9 more episodes.
I think it's 9.
9 more, October 29th. It doesn't reveal. They did not reveal what the episodes are, but they did reveal. Actually, they did reveal 3 of them. One is a sequel to The Duel.
Ooh.
One is a sequel to The Village Bride.
Oh, okay.
And a sequel to The Ninth Jedi. Which I think all were part of the first season, I think, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I am 95% sure those were all first season.
So, yeah, 9 episodes. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like 8 studios are going to be producing them. But also, in connection with this, I don't know if you heard this, but The Ninth Jedi is actually getting its own limited series.
Really?
This is where I started thinking, okay, well, are they trying to start making some of these canon? And I'd have to go back and watch The Ninth Jedi to fully remember.
Same.
But it didn't seem like it was out of the realm of possibility of being canon.
Yeah. Okay.
But The Ninth Jedi is getting its own series.
Wow.
It said limited series, meaning it's probably just one season, maybe a few episodes.
That'll be cool, though.
Yeah. I did like that one. I think I remember liking that one. I think I
like that one, too. I'm looking at the images from it, and I think I liked that one.
Yeah. So I know you're a big fan of Visions.
Yes, huge fan. So that's great to hear.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like it's going back to, I could be wrong, but it seems like it's going back to like volume 1 where it's all Japanese anime.
Yes, that is what it looks like.
Yeah. Because the second season kind of ventured out and like
to other cultures, which is really
did different animation styles and different studios around the world. This one seems like it's going back to Japanese anime. Mm-hmm. So Visions Volume 3 coming October 29th with all the episodes. Lego Rebuild the Galaxy. They're coming out with a second series for that second season, I guess you could say, because it's 4 episodes, I believe, just like the first one.
Yes, and I did not see the first one, but apparently we're getting Darth Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah.
Which, what fun is that? Like, come on.
Well, you want to really talk about something like conspiracy rumors and stuff like that end up turning into something else. That's straight up from the fans, I feel like.
Oh, I feel like it is total fan service, but I think all of us are here for it, especially if Ahmed is coming back. You know what I mean?
Ahmed is coming back, and it's so good to see. It's just so good to see him and Hayden.
Oh, yeah.
Even Daniel Logan was there, even though he's never really gotten that much slack. But Hayden and Ahmed Best obviously just deserve all of this.
They do.
There's definitely some Keller. There's more Keller and Beck coming, rumored too. Apparently, he might be showing up later in something else I read. But yeah, it's so good to see those guys still involved and getting all the love from the fans, and Jar Jar's coming back. Probably the only way people will accept him as a Sith Lord, I guess.
Probably. Like, come on. This is just going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Right. He is also apparently showing up in a Fortnite series. So Fortnite, apparently, I'm not in the Fortnite either. I don't play. My daughter played for a while. But apparently they do these like mini series type weekly events. And starting May the 4th, they're doing a Star Wars Fortnite collaboration. They're calling it a season, and it's each week where you can get on and play with Star Wars characters and buy new skins and all this stuff. Well, Darth Jar Jar is apparently going to be part of that.
I can't believe it. I don't play Fortnite either. I only know it due to their dances, I guess. And there was a lawsuit over one of the dances that they did.
Oh, really?
Apparently.
Wait, you mean like a dance your character can do?
Yeah. Like
Oh,
apparently there's one where it's the Charleston, like it's a spin-off of the Charleston.
Carlton.
Yeah, Carlson, sorry, the Carlson, not Charleston, Carlson.
Carlton
Carlton, yeah, that.
from Fresh Prince of Bel Air.
Yeah,
Yeah,
apparently
Carlton.
there was a lawsuit saying they didn't have rights to that dance.
Someone owns the rights to that dance.
I forget how and when. I remember looking at that story and saying, "This is so dumb,"
That is
but
hilarious.
everyone's going to talk about it, so it's going in the show. Like that was me as a
Okay,
news producer. I'm like, "This is so dumb,"
that is
but
hilarious.
everyone's talking about it, so it's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
here
All
we
right.
go. So I don't remember the outcome of it, but I do remember that was a huge topic of conversation: is what can and cannot be copyrighted and things like that. It was a whole thing.
Wow. Okay. That's cool. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Well, I guess you can play as Jar Jar, but you can't do the Carlton.
There you go. Well, I don't know.
So,
Like, I don't know. I don't know how it ended. I mean,
oh,
you might still be able to do it.
maybe
You
they got
might
the
still be
rights.
able to.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. I forget how it ended because I aired the story once, then I'm like, yeah, that was so dumb. I'm not airing it again. Like, I just
Funny. Oh
was
man.
like, why?
Okay. Yeah. So Fortnite, Rebuild the Galaxy, little Jar Jar, and all that. It's called Pieces of the Past, is what, and that is actually coming to Disney Plus on September 19th. So it's another thing coming out the rest of this later this year. So Volume 3 of Visions later this year. Rebuild the Galaxy, Pieces of the Past coming out later this year. Also coming out later this year is apparently season 3 of Young Jedi Adventures.
That'll be cute. I need to watch that just
I
to.
actually started watching that one night, like if maybe a month or so ago. I was actually into it.
Yeah, I was
Uh,
about to say, I feel like it's a cute kids show, you know?
yeah, I probably will like it. So I probably need to watch it.
I need to watch it. Maybe I'll have it play on in the background as white noise while doing
And I
work.
believe, like I saw towards the end of the first season, I think is like Starlight Beacon and all that stuff with. So I'm like, okay, I
Oh.
might need to watch this because it is High Republic era.
Right.
So that's coming out later this year. So technically, after Andor is over, and after May the 4th and Tales of the Underworld come out, those are really the only things coming later this year. Which I'll get into kind of the calendar here in a second.
Mm-hmm.
Smuggler's Run.
Yeah, this is interesting, and we've talked about it before.
Yeah. So what did you did you read about all that?
I did. I like. Does we already know that Batu in Disneyland is starting to break the timeline rules with introducing Luke Skywalker.
Yes.
So, does this implication mean that they are fully saying we're going to break the timeline? And Batu is now just a place in all time and space where different characters can walk around from different timelines. Well, not timelines, uh different times, different uh periods.
Yes, it seems like it.
I think that's the biggest implication, which is huge. Like that's the biggest implication from this piece of news.
But yeah, what's funny is that everything I've read so far about it is that it seems like this is only happening at Disneyland.
Which I find very interesting. So is Disneyland going to allow like multiple character walking, which I guess makes sense because I can't think there isn't a place in Disneyland where you could see Darth Vader, right?
No,
Yeah, in Disney World, there's the launch bay. It's not called the launch bay, but you know the area that I'm
it's launch.
calling
It's
it.
still a launch bay.
It is launch bay. Okay, so there's that area where you go see Chewbacca. Well, you can see Chewbacca in both places, but you can
Yeah,
see that
meet and
Chewbacca.
greet. His meet and greet is
Yeah,
there.
his meet and greet is there, and so is Darth Vader. And sometimes other characters, but
Sometimes Kylo Ren.
yeah. Well, no, Kylo Ren walks around Batu.
Yeah, but he sometimes is in place of Vader.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, when I've gone, sometimes it's either Kylo or Vader. They flip flop.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So with all of that, it's like, so is Disneyland gonna? Is that how they're gonna make Disneyland Batu different than Orlando? Is that?
I I would be a little frustrated if I can't go to Disney World and see this. and it doesn't really say how long they're going to do this. It's starting when the Mandalorian and Grogu hits theaters.
Okay, so that's not for quite a bit.
A year. Right? A year from now, next
Right.
May. So, and what's interesting, like you said, it changes the timeline. So instead of taking place during episode 8, this is going to take place during the Mandalorian and Grogu, right? And did you read about how they're doing it?
I don't think I can't remember. I know I looked at it earlier this weekend, but then a lot happened this weekend.
So they're
So
giving more power to the engineers.
good.
So people that don't know the ride or the experience,
Oh.
you go into the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon, and there's 6 chairs. So it's a little off, right?
Right.
But your first 2 chairs, you have the pilots. The next 2 chairs, you have the gunners. And then the last 2 chairs, you have the engineers. Now, all the engineers do during the mission is they hit a bunch of flashing buttons in front of them to repair the ship.
Right.
The gunners obviously are firing guns and firing the catapults and stuff like that. And then the pilots are, flying through there. One goes up and down, the other one controls left and right. So what they're doing in here is that the when you take off, the engineers are allowed to pick the mission. And there's 5 different missions apparently, or 5 different places you can go.
Wow.
And those places are Tatooine, Bespin, Endor, or Coruscant.
Very interesting.
And it says all 4 planets will feature completely different flight paths and missions, which the panelists explained in some limited detail, along with some stunning all new concept art. So there's some concept art of what you can see. But yeah, you're just, there's Easter eggs in each one of them. Apparently Star Tours, you can see Star Tours in the background on Bespin.
I love that. Oh, that's great.
I mean, yeah. And then, you're interacting with Mando and Grogu somehow because they're flying around outside of the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm going to be, there's no telling how long it's going to be there.
Right. It might just be for a short amount of time.
I mean, I'll be bummed if it's not in Disney World or Hollywood Studios, basically. So yeah, anyway, but it says there may be times when Mando has to deboard the Razor Crest and Grogu, left to his own devices, might get a little happy on the control panel. So we love the idea of there being these fun little vignettes and moments when you're sort of on the comm with Grogu.
I will say this, Smuggler's Run made me feel like it's them bringing back some of Disney Quest, because Disney Quest had those interactive games that you could play that were rides. Like my favorite was their Pirates of the Caribbean ride, where you were on, like, you went into this virtual room
Mm-hmm.
and you're on a ship, and the ship could move with the waves and such. You have one person as the captain steering, and then everybody else can move around to all the other cannons, and your goal is to shoot down all the other pirate ships
Oh,
as they shoot
interesting.
back at you. Like, it's fun. So hearing this sounds like they're starting to bring Disney Quest back in a different way.
Cool. Okay. Cool. Where was that experience at?
Disney Springs.
Disney
Springs
Springs.
used to
Okay.
have a place called Disney Quest, and it was like this
Yeah.
virtual reality space. Like, you and 3 other people could put on this virtual headset and fly a magic carpet on an Aladdin ride. There's another situation where all of you are in a raft and you're going through all these rapids, and there are a bunch of dinosaurs all over the place.
Oh, interesting.
So a lot of really cool virtual realities. There were other things too, but it sounds like this is like bringing Disney Quest back, which is really, really cool.
Mm. Cool. All right. And then you know what? I just saw something here. I did not hear this about this. That is this? I think this is actually now playing already. It says, "Did you know about this? There's a projection show called Skywalker: Shadows of Memory."
Is that what they already talked about?
I
There
think
was a
it's
production
saying it's
show.
now playing at Disneyland. It's a show in Batu.
Yeah, I saw
Projection show.
before Celebration, I saw some things on social media about it.
Interesting. I didn't even know that.
Unless it's a different show than I'm thinking of.
But again, why are they only doing it at Disneyland?
Good question.
Because Hollywood Studios does not have, in my opinion, the greatest like end of night show, and having something in Batu would be pretty incredible. Well,
That would be cool.
okay. So that game, the other announcement of games, there is Star Wars Outlaws coming out with a DLC called Pirate's Fortune.
Mm-hmm.
Coming soon here. I think it's next month. And then there's a game called Zero Company. Now,
That looks interesting.
yes. Now, this was a game we had talked about that was rumored to be what they call turn-based. And that's what this game is. This is the turn-based Star Wars game that they were talking about. It's called Zero Company. It takes place during the Clone Wars. And you're this kind of ragtag group going out, and I don't even know what the premise necessarily is, but you're going out trying to do good because there's a Jedi involved. You do have a Jedi in this group. There's a clone involved. There's a bounty hunter. Looks a couple of bounty hunters.
Mm-hmm.
I am definitely not a huge turn-based player, so I'm not sure I'll be playing this.
I was about to say Baldur's Gate 3 won Game of the Year. So,
Is that turn-based?
like it won Game of the Year in the year that it came out, and that is turn based. You're
Interesting.
like, hey, it's your turn, make your move. Knights of the Old Republic is a weird type of turn base. Like it's technically turn based, but it's all happening in real time. It's weird. But yeah, I think maybe this was them trying to ride on the hype of Baldur's Gate 3.
Okay. Interesting. So, again, not a lot to know about that one yet, but there is a little video trailer you can watch.
Mm-hmm. That'd be cool.
It was, yeah. I want I don't know. I want the other games that they talked about, like that Eclipse,
Yes.
the Knights of the Old Republic remake, whatever that's going to be. No word on those, really. They haven't really talked about those at Celebration.
That was a bummer. I was really hoping they were going to have an update.
Yeah. They did not announce. Well, I think it was known it's coming out, but they did talk about it a lot there. Light and Magic, which is a series on Disney Plus about industrial light magic. Season 2 of that is now out.
Mm-hmm.
I need to watch that because I loved the first one. I will watch that. And let's see. The other things, now on the publishing side, not really too much on the publishing side. We had talked about, there's a lot of like the Art of Andor is coming out.
Right.
Doug Chain's coming out with a big book, Industrial Light Magic. Of course, they showed the full cover of Trials of the Jedi from Charles Soule, which is the last book in the High Republic series here. New book called Master of Evil from Adam Christopher. It's going to be a Vader book.
Oh.
Yeah, pumped about that. There's another Acolyte book starring, it looks like Jackie and, which I think we knew about that one.
I think we did.
Did we know about that one? Yeah.
I think so.
It's called
familiar.
The Crystal Crown. That is coming out. They showed some comics that, Jedi Knight series is going on. The Legacy of Vader series is going on. So that's really not too many novels announced. But that's the publishing side so far.
Yeah.
We didn't hear about these, but apparently they're still in the works and development. But Taika's film is still in development. Rey's movie's still in development. Or, I mean, that was supposed to be shooting soon.
Yeah.
Filoni's film is still getting worked on. Simon Kinberg is still working on a trilogy. So, you know, there's apparently a lot of films now. And so I will mention, I saw Hannah, basically someone had put out basically a quick look at the schedule of what's coming, right?
Right.
So of course, in a couple days here, April 22nd, we got Andor season 2.
Yes.
May the 4th, we got Tales of the Underworld.
Yes.
May 15th is the Star Wars Outlaws DLC, A Pirate's Fortune.
Okay.
September 19th, Rebuild the Galaxy. October 29th, Visions, Volume 3. And then this fall is Young Jedi Season 3. So that is it, apparently, for Star Wars this year.
Okay.
And then next year, you got Mando and Grogu, May 22nd. You've got Visions, the 9th Jedi limited series. Now, from then on, it's like to be determined. They're not sure what. Maul, Shadow Lord Season 1. Zero Company, the video game, comes out next year. And then that's all that we know as far as like date, year. And then you have in 27, you've got Star Wars Starfighter. And then this says December 17th, although it's rumored only, the other untitled Star Wars movie, which could be Rey's movie. And then it has Ahsoka season 2, and then it has James Mangold's movie, which is the new Dawn of the Jedi. Rey's movie, Taika's movie, Simon Kinberg's movie, and then Dave Filoni's movie. So there's a lot. I mean, there's not a lot of dates yet, but there's several things coming.
And who knows what gets bumped up and what doesn't.
That's right. Or what other series gets, because it's rumored, like, again, Donald Glover is still apparently working on a Lando film now. It was a series, now it's a film. That's rumored to be going on. So
good stuff.
All right, what's your top one or two announcements there that you're pumped about?
I am going to not include Andor because we already technically knew about it. Like I'm sticking with like new announcements. I would have to say Maul, in no particular order. Maul, Starfighter, and I gotta be honest, it's the Lego.
The Lego.
I gotta be honest. I mean,
even though you haven't watched the first one, I'm gonna probably watch the first one now.
Oh, but Visions 3 we also knew about, so I'm not gonna count that. Yeah, I would say Maul, Starfighter, and Lego.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't see the first one, just the idea of Darth Jar Jar just makes me happy.
Yeah.
Just makes me happy. What about you?
Definitely Maul. Definitely Starfighter, yeah. And Ahsoka season 2. I'm pumped about that.
But we already technically knew Ahsoka season 2 was happening. So
yeah,
I
but
don't think that counts.
Well, I'm just saying, like, what am I excited for after seeing and hearing about this celebration stuff?
Well, if we're gonna do that, then I'm gonna go with If we're doing like overall and we're including stuff we already knew that was happening, then Andor season 2.
Yeah. Well, I'm not including that one just because it is coming. We know it's coming like in a couple days. But yeah, I get
fine. Starfighter. Then for me it would be Starfighter, Maul, and Visions.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Okay.
if we're talking about things like we didn't know they were coming,
Yeah.
then Lego replaces Visions.
I see.
Because we knew Lego Visions 3 was coming. We knew that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, most of the stuff. Yeah, most of the stuff. I think Starfighter and Maul might have been the only things we didn't know. Well,
We
in
also didn't,
Lego.
yeah, and Lego, and we didn't. Well, we knew about Smuggler's Run, sort of. Zero
Yes.
Company, we didn't really know about.
Well, we knew what the game was. We didn't know what it was
Yeah.
called.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess you kind of have to include some of the stuff in there
Some of
too.
the
So
stuff. Yeah.
then Mall Visions and
Lego.
Lego.
Right.
Well, no, Mall Visions and Starfighter. Lego
Yes.
would
For
replace
you.
Visions
Yeah.
if
And the thing that we didn't know was when the next celebration is going to happen.
2027 in Los Angeles.
Los Angeles.
I really wished it was Orlando.
April 1st through the 4th.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, but that kind of scares me because I could envision them saying, "Hey, we're going to do a bunch of pranks on April Fools."
Oh, wow. That's true.
Like
Because
come on.
that would be the first day of reveals. You're right.
And so, like, what if everything they reveal on day one, and then they went
Oh,
April
man.
Fools, and they like
No,
brought
they
in
can't.
random celebrities and such to
There's no
like get
way
the
they can do that.
They could.
Yeah. But I'm telling you
So
right now, I will be there. I think you should be there.
I will try.
I have a feeling. Martin is. I don't know if Martin knows. I think he does know, but I'm sure he might try to go there.
I think it depends on a lot of things, and who knows. For reasons we cannot share, I might be there already. So
Yeah, maybe. But also, this is the first time that, because normally these dates for celebration are always around the times my kids are in school, and they don't do these things during the summer. Usually it's either in April or August.
right.
Well, that 1st to the 4th, that is spring break week.
No, it's not.
Yes. So I'm telling you right now, my whole my
You're
wife and my
going.
kids we're all going, because we're going to hit up Disneyland before,
Of course.
because the 1st is on a Thursday. So it's Thursday through Sunday. So we'll go out earlier in the week, do some Disneyland, and then go to, now I don't know if they'll want to go all the days. I know my oldest will probably want to go. So we'll go. I don't know if my other wife, or my wife and my other kid, will do it, but they'll at least be able to go to the parks if they want to go to the
Right,
parks.
exactly. And then they can continue going.
I wish it was Anaheim, but it's not Anaheim. It's L.A.
Yeah,
So
I
it's a
know
little
that.
different.
That's what makes me go. Oh,
So it's a little different.
it's not just a little different, Dave. LA
Well,
is different than Anaheim. It's
very
night
true.
and day. Like,
Yeah, very
no
true.
offense to any of you all that live in Los Angeles. God bless you is all I got to say, especially with the fires that recently happened. God bless you. Um, I lived there for a summer. I thought for a time, oh yeah, I'll live here. No, I don't think I could.
No, I couldn't either. My wife lived there for a little over 3 years,
Oh wow.
but that was a good time to live there
Right.
back when she did.
Like there was a good time to live there at one
Yeah,
point,
yeah.
as it is with any city.
But I will say, so Celebration has been in Los Angeles before.
Yes.
And I went there. It was Celebration 4 back in 2007. Because the first 3 that they had, the first 2 were in Denver.
Which seems really random.
Well, yeah, the guy that, this wasn't started by Lucasfilm. This
Yeah,
was
that's right.
started
That's right. This was a bunch of fans that were
by some fans. Yeah. So they were in Denver. The first 2 were in Denver. The third one was in Indianapolis, which is the first one I went to. And then Celebration 4, celebrating the 30th anniversary, was in 2007 in Los Angeles. And then I believe Celebration 5 was in Orlando. And I think Celebration 6, I think that was Anaheim.
okay.
And then they started bouncing around because they stopped dropping the numbers, because they were only doing the numbers because they were actually celebrating the anniversaries of of some films.
Yeah.
But then after that, I think that's when they start bouncing around, like Celebration Germany, Celebration Japan, Celebration Chicago. There was one in Chicago, which I don't think from now on, it doesn't seem like, I'm surprised actually, again, I'm surprised that they're doing Los Angeles. I thought from now on they would either be Orlando or Anaheim.
That's what I thought too. Or maybe even Paris.
They probably could do a Paris at some point. Right now, they've only done Germany and London when they've gone over to Europe.
I will say they have a really impressive Star Wars section in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
For some reason I have a hard time thinking they're going to go to China.
No, they wouldn't go to Hong Kong isn't China.
Well, it's in the same big country of China.
Yeah, let's not. Shanghai is another one that's been really spoke highly about. But no, it would. Yeah, But as soon as I saw it was the 50th anniversary of Star Wars.
What? 50th?
No. 50th anniversary of something, right? Am I crazy?
Yeah, Star Wars hasn't been around, but 47 years now.
Okay, so what?
50th will be in 27.
Yeah, it is 50th.
That will be the 50th. Wow, you're right. That will be
the 50th. I was about to say, no, they're like, because it's this anniversary. And I thought it was 50th of Star Wars.
50th anniversary is then.
But as soon as they said that, I'm like, it's going to be in California.
Yes. Actually, yeah, that's right. Wow. So I'm definitely going. There's no way I'm not going. 50th anniversary, I'm definitely going.
I would love to go. Here's hoping I can. I would love to.
That is right. 50. Because that means, you know what that means? That means I'm turning 50 that year.
Happy birthday.
Because I'm the same. I have the same birthday as Star Wars. So. Interesting. All right. I don't know why I didn't put that together, but you're right. That's the 50th anniversary. Wow. 50 years of Star Wars. That's crazy. That is going to be, I'm telling you.
50 years of Star Wars.
Do what?
I said 50 years of Star Wars.
I know. And I'm telling everybody that's been with the show for a long time knows I've said this many, many times, but there is truly nothing like Star Wars Celebration. I wish I were able to go these last couple, I couldn't make it to Japan, obviously. And then the one before that was Anaheim, which was kind of right out of COVID, and seats were limited, tickets were limited. It wasn't the same experience. So I didn't want to go because it was going to be different. But now that's fully back in the States. Oh yeah, I'm going. And it is such an experience. I think somebody said, I can't remember who it was, but somebody on I think it might have been, I don't think it was Sam anyway, but anyway, somebody on that interview panel on Star Wars Live was like, there's no other place you can come where truly everybody loves Star Wars. Like, there's no like, people, there's no evil people there. There's nobody's mad about anything there. Everybody's just truly celebrating Star Wars. And you get to meet a lot of new people, and, everybody's sharing the same passion. And it's incredible to see, I'm telling you. It's incredible to be a part of. So I think you would enjoy it a lot, Hannah.
I'm sure I would. I really want to go.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. So, all right, there you go. There's our kind of report on all things Celebration. We will be back later this week to talk about the first 3 episodes of Andor. You going to be able to watch it Tuesday night?
I don't know. I'm going to try.
Oh,
I'm gonna
yeah.
try. It'll either be Tuesday night or Wednesday at some point. I don't know.
Yeah.
I should be able to
9
watch it
o'clock
Tuesday night.
Eastern, it drops.
So then I should be able to watch it Tuesday night.
Yeah. All 3 episodes, which I think total out to be about, I think they're like average, I think they're about 50 minutes a piece.
So we're watching a movie every Tuesday. Let's
So
go.
what's that, 150 minutes? So yeah, so it's a little over 2 hours.
All right, let's do it.
I mean, I'm pumped, man. I'm going to pop my popcorn and I'm going to sit down and I am going
Cannot
to
wait.
enjoy this. Right at 9 o'clock too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thanks everybody for watching and listening. I hope everybody, is excited as we are with everything that's coming. It's going to take some time, but in the next couple of years, there's going to be a lot of Star Wars.
Yes, indeed.
Thanks, Hannah, for staying up and doing this.
Thank you, Dave, for the invite.
Yeah.
Let's see what the future has.
That's right. That's right. And like I said, we'll be back later this week for Andor talk, as well as we had to get some other stuff done, some Beyond the Sagas, and we do got to catch up again on our commentary.
Oh yeah, it's been too long regarding those.
Yeah, we got things are slowing down for me a little bit, lightening up a little bit, but we should be able to get that going here.
Meanwhile, they're ramping up for me.
True. All right, everybody, go enjoy Andor. Let us know what you guys think about all the stuff that came out from Celebration, and we will see you soon. Thanks, Hannah.
Thanks, Dave.
Take care, everybody. May the Force be with you.